Wouldn't you like a team that knows exactly what to do, can communicate with your clients seamlessly, even upload your ads to Facebook Ads Manager without you having to dictate their every move or micromanage them? And they can take away all the menial tasks away from your day-to-day. Well, this is possible with a strong remote team. And these are the 3 characteristics of a strong remote team. Number 1, self-sustaining. Number 2, high retention. And number 3, results-oriented. Now in this video, we're going to discuss all 3 ways to make your remote team have these 3 characteristics. Now why should you listen to me? My name is Calvin. I'm the CEO of Full Fine and Cool Creatives. We've placed over 60 plus remote teams comprising of video editors, graphic designers, and project managers around the world. And this includes clients like Frank Pons, who worked with Mr. Beast and Ty Lopez, and also Fortune 500 marketing agencies and other 7-figure agencies and e-com brands around the world. Most of my clients didn't even build an in-house team because they were very comfortable having their remote team managed and hired through us. But remembering that point, let's dive right into it with point number 1. So point number 1, we want your remote team to be self-sustaining, and this will be achieved through 3 things. 1, a clear project management flow. 2, clear SOPs. And 3, clear rewards and punishments. Now let's start with number 1. For project management, you need a tool that can house everything from rules, flow, requests, all in under one roof. And there's loads of options nowadays. You have Monday, Trello, Asana, etc. But my favorite remains to be ClickUp. Now I'm a big advocate of ClickUp. I've been using it for 3+ years, and here are the pros and cons of ClickUp. The pros: you can have a customizable workflow, and 2, it has all the features that all the project management tools have put together, and 3, it is comparatively cheap because you only need to pay 1 member fee and get 5 free guests. Now the cons, there's only one. It's a pretty steep learning curve, so be sure to invest some time in the beginning to learn more about what ClickUp has to offer. But I assure you, once you get the hang of it, it's very worth the money. For ClickUp, I house all things including task queue for the clients, SOPs, and then also using the comment tabs for revisions and updates on what the latest file or version of the work has been done so far. Now with the strong project management house, then you'll need rules for the house, and this is where SOPs come in. Now managing 25 editors and project managers, I've gotten pretty good at SOPs, and this is the SOP structure that I use. It's actually very simple. First, you would want to explain briefly what the SOP is and then what the purpose of it is. Then you would want to signify when it starts. Then you want to lay out step by step on how to complete the SOP. And then you would want to actually outline when the SOP is considered complete. And then at the end, add a section for FAQs on what you think your employees would ask around a certain SOP. And then once the SOP is implemented and executed, you can add on the FAQs and then also refine the SOP to make it clearer and clearer and clearer as time goes by and as more employees use it. Now, perfect. With the rulebook in place in the house that you manage through the project management tool, you would then need some rewards and punishments to make sure that the rules are implemented. Just like laws in every country that you live in, there are punishments when you break the law and then rewards when you actually follow the law. Now, this goes the same as your remote team. You would have rewards and punishments to actually enforce the behavior so that your employees execute the SOPs. I usually tie these rewards to the bonuses I give to my remote employees. I recommend actually tying it to a bonus instead of a base pay. I usually give out 10% bonus for all my remote employees based on SOPs and performance, which we will dive later. But for SOPs, it's tied to their 10% bonus on top of their base pay. And these are some few SOPs I usually tie into their bonuses. So these are basic rewards and punishments that I recommend you actually implementing, especially for a remote team. Number 1, clock in on time in the beginning of their shift. And if they're 3 times late, you deduct 5% of their bonuses. So meaning 50%. If it's 10%, then 5% goes away. Then they lose 50% of what should have been 100% of their bonuses, which is 10% off the base pay again. And number 2, check in with the clients or your media team, telling you guys or the clients what they're going to be finishing on that day, what videos they're finishing, what graphics they're finishing, etc. And if they miss doing this 3 times in a month, then you also deduct pay from their bonuses. And number 3 is an end of shift checklist where they report on what they completed that day and what videos or what graphics or what work they've delivered on that particular day. And if they miss to do this, you can kind of investigate first what went wrong. Is there a certain task that actually needed a lot more time? Or if they actually fell asleep or didn't do their job, then you can deduct their bonuses as well. So these are 3 3 common rewards and punishments I use in my agency at Cool Creatives, and it's been pretty effective so far, managing a whole lot of editors at the same time. Now, I have 20 plus editors and 2 project managers, and the project managers are actually responsible in enforcing these SOPs and actually enforcing the rules, rewards, and punishments. Of course, you would want to implement something like this for the project managers themselves, but at least you only see it from the project manager side, and then project manager can oversee the editors, so you only oversee 2 people instead of 20. But having clear structures like these not only enforce self-sustaining behavior and good performance, but it also means that you don't have to micromanage them and you don't have to check in on every single tasks that they do. This also shows your remote employees that your company is a serious company with clear organizational structures and also rules, and it becomes a lean machine when it comes to production. Number 2 is high retention. Now, for a high retention team, you need to make sure your remote employees are staying with you. I've heard stories from clients that have really high turnover when it comes to remote employees, and they keep blaming the employees are not good enough, they're not smart enough. Most of the time, it's just not true. It's just bad management. Here are 5 things to improve your retention when it comes to your remote team. Number 1, change your mindset. Your remote employees, treat them as in-house employees as if they were living in the US. Do not treat them as second-grade citizens in your company. This will only lead to jealousy. This will lead to a feeling of not belonging to the company, and it'll just make your employees resign and move towards another company much more easily. Number 2, have proper onboarding and training. Be sure when you first hire a remote employee or a remote team, you don't just throw them into the deep water. Actually have a proper onboarding process, welcome them to the team, set the expectations with them, actually have a proper training when it comes to their role, and be sure they're well on their way to feel like they belong, and also understand what's expected of them and what they should do from day to day. Number 3, give a proper career path. Don't just jumble all your editors into editors. Actually have levels to each role you hire remotely for your company. You have junior editors, you have associate editors, you have senior editors. That way, your employees can see that there is a career path for them to strive for within your company, and then you can give them a pay raise once they're loyal to you and they actually do good work for your company. Don't just categorize everything, okay, editors get this much pay. Actually create a path for them to grow within your company. Number 4, have one-on-ones with them. So if you're a founder in your small team, you can do it yourself, or if you have an HR team, they can do it, but be sure to actually give them one-on-one care. I usually do it every once a quarter just to make sure they understand that they're appreciated. You give feedback where they can improve on, and actually give them praise where they did a good job on your tasks, right? So be sure to give them that personal touch and also show them that they are part of your company and you actually care about them. These one-on-ones are priceless for having high retention. Number 5, take care of their health benefits. I know most of your remote employees will be independent contractors, but it goes a long way if you take care of their local health benefits as well. And it doesn't even cost much because it uses local currency, but it really means a lot to them, and it actually will help you keep high retention within your remote team if you just pay like local health benefits, which will mean a lot to them. Now, if you don't want to do this all yourself, sourcing, training, local health benefits, onboarding, blah, 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 then you can just click the link in the description below, because my company Full Fine helps you source, train, vet, and also employ local health benefits and place really high quality employees in your team without any risk associated. It's actually 75% cheaper than hiring someone from the US because we're actually sourcing from Indonesia, and we have 3 guarantees to make sure it's risk-free from you. 1, a 15-day crazy fast placement guarantee, which will place someone within 15 working days or your deposit back 100%. 2, not a good fit guarantee, will make sure the talent is a good fit, and if you feel that they're not, then we're gonna return your deposit back, your money back, and then also we'll pay for his first month's salary on us. And then 3rd, the free forever replacement guarantee. As long as you're working with our staffing agency, you can replace the employee as many times as you want until you get the right fit. So risk-free if you're interested, link in the description below. But other than that, let's get into point number 3, which is results-oriented remote teams. The best way to retain and make your remote team self-sustaining is actually tying their day-to-day tasks with performance and also inputs and outputs. You can tie these results even beyond the 10% of base bonus pay that I recommended. There are 2 types of results-based bonuses that you can place for your remote team. Number 1, input-based. Now, this is for remote employees that actually don't have their work tied to a performance of some kind. So we're talking about video editors, graphic designers, UI UX designers, etc., etc. So you can measure this by the amount of videos they deliver every day or every week, the amount of deadlines they meet, and also the quality of work they deliver. So it's more numbers-based instead of the actual results that their work produces. Number 2 is output-based. Now, this is more for remote employees that actually have their work tied directly to performance. So we're talking about paid ad specialists, account executives, or even project managers. So for example, a paid ad specialist, then you would tie them to ROAS, for example. An account executive, you would tie them to the client satisfaction score at the end of every month that you survey from clients. Or if it's a project manager, you can measure it by the amount of clients that renew, and then you give them a cut of the renewal fee, for example. So it's based more on performance and it's easier to track. But both are definitely trackable, and then you can tie them with the performance and also the bonus pay of that 10% even more. With bonuses or even base pay tied to the results, your employees are much more inclined to have a fire in their belly to actually deliver the results and the work to the quality and standard that you want. Trust me, the bonus might seem only $100 or $200 per month extra per each employee, and that's nothing for what you pay. But for them, it's gonna be such a big deal that they're gonna work their ass off to make sure the bonus is met. And that said, those are the 3 characteristics that you will get if you have a strong remote team. To recap, 1, it's self-sustaining with clear project management flow, SOPs and rewards and punishments. And then 2, high retention by you actually caring about your employees and adding a personal touch, benefits, etc., etc. And number 3 is results-oriented by tying your employees' bonuses with the actual performance and the deliveries that they do. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below to let me know what kind of videos or content around hiring from Asia you want to know more next. My name is Calvin, and I'll see you in the next video.